Hey friends, just a quick update on a handful of things that is important for us to know about here at Trellis Church. First, the eldership process that we began last spring. We gave a brief update here recently, but I want to give you a little bit more insight into what's going on. We are kind of in the second of three stages with the elder candidates right now, doing a theological interview. The last step will happen hopefully sometime in November, and the hope there is just to make sure that each candidate is fully aware, has any opportunities to just ask last questions, to engage with their wife about any questions that they might have. Our hope is that this process would be wrapped up by the end of this year, and then likely because of Thanksgiving and Christmas and travel schedules, we will put the new slate before the church towards the end of this year, most likely the beginning of next year. Give the church a couple weeks to ask some questions, maybe have some conversations with our elder candidates, and then early next year have a vote as a church. And just as a reminder, the way that our bylaws work, the church is voting on an entire slate, not on individuals. So you'll have the name of the group that the current eldership is recommending to be our next slate of elders, and you'll have the opportunity to provide your voice in the form of a vote, and we'll move forward from there. Secondly, a quick update. Several members of the church have asked me what we're doing with Castro's role, the associate pastor who transitioned to a role with a new church. And so I wanted to provide a brief update there. We are not going to immediately hire a new associate pastor. We've distributed some of those responsibilities around to the current team, and we've also hired two other individuals on a part-time basis. Isaiah Hollinger, as many of you have met, has been participating in our worship team for the last couple months. He's going to come on board at about 8 or 10 hours a week to lead worship, to help with some of the details of the worship team, to get the stage set up, help with some of the sound and technology components. The hope there is that he's pulling some things off of Zach's plate to free Zach up for some more pastoral responsibilities. And the second thing that we're doing is we have offered a pastoral residency to Jordan Sandberg. As you know, Jordan and Alexa have felt called to church plant. It seemed like they were moving in that direction this fall, and their house didn't sell. Some things have happened that have led them to kind of just hunker down. Alexa is due to have their third child at the end of December, early January, and so they're going to hang around at least through next spring. And so Jordan's going to be doing an official pastoral residency with Trellis Church, 10 to 12 hours a week, supporting Nicole in some of the outreach efforts, supporting Zach and I in some of the pastoral things. He's going to be teaching a little bit more frequently. And so for now, we have both of those positions in place through next spring to kind of buy us some time and just see how we operate with the current staff and with those two roles. Thirdly and lastly, several of you have also asked, we've done a few more Unity services with Awakening recently. Just this past Sunday on October 20th, Pastor Jonah made an announcement to Awakening that him and his family have felt called to move to a new role out of state. Jonah has accepted a position in a church outside of the Atlanta area focused in global missions and global outreach. And so their plan is that they'll be meeting at 1 p.m. through the end of October. And as Jonah and I have thought and talked and prayed about this over the last couple months, we just trust that God has brought these two churches together to move forward. And so our hope and our prayer is that our brothers and sisters at Awakening Church, many of them will feel called to just step right into Trellis Church as active members and participants. They're gifted and have abilities to contribute to the ministry that we're doing here. And so beginning on Sunday, November 3rd, we will welcome Awakening at 10 a.m. on Sunday mornings for the next 6 or 7 weeks. Jonah will be present. He'll preach a couple times. We'll do ministry together, and then Jonah and his family will transition to the Atlanta area at the end of this year. And we'll continue together as Trellis Church, welcoming those from Awakening who feel called to stay and lean into and participate in the building up of the body here at Trellis Church. So let's pray for Jonah and his family. Let's pray for Awakening and their transition. And let's just be what God has called us to be, loving and affectionate and caring to those who come and participate as part of the body at Trellis Church. If you have any questions or you'd like to chat about any of these 3 things that are coming up and taking place, feel free to reach out to me, to any of the staff. We'd love to get together and chat. But for now, just wanted you to have an update on kind of a few important things that are going on within the body at Trellis Church. Have a great week. We'll talk soon. God bless.